Sunflower family, welcome back. If you guys are new here, welcome. Now's a great time to subscribe. I'm jumping into this video, of course, in collaboration with Hotbraids. If you guys did not see any of our previous collaborations, definitely check them out for hairstyle ideas. Now, y'all know they typically give me a bunch of goodies from combs, clips, edge brushes, literally everything I need, including a reusable bag, of course. And then, of course, I did actually receive 5 bundles of their tight Afro kinky bulk hair. You guys, I was kind of nervous about it because I had never worked with this texture before. Y'all, I'm literally lying. It was the exact texture of my own hair. When I compare the actual weave itself to my hair, I was like, whoa. I cannot even make this up. I don't know how they got this texture to be so on point, but I was really excited to do some chunky, juicy twists because if you guys did not know and are not aware, although my hair looks very thick and full, my individual strands are pretty fine. I just so happen to have a lot of them, and so that pretty much balances out to give me more of an average texture. Now, I am just a few weeks behind on my trim, so I will actually be taking care of that just shortly, but I really want to just kind of show you guys how when I tell you my hair is so fine, you guys will kind of see throughout the video, you are able to literally see through certain parts of my hair, and the only time that it looks super full and just uniform is when I gather it together. Promise you, it's not just because I need a trim, it's truly the hair texture itself. And I feel that it's so important to kind of explain this to you guys because I'm starting to see more and more people post their hair textures, and I'm really excited that you guys are becoming more comfortable with it. Kinks, curls, and all. There are plenty style options out there, and just with the more availability we have in texture so that you don't have to always go and get, you know, a bohemian kinky curl if that is not your texture. It's exciting, it's refreshing, and I'm here for it. So of course, y'all know, jumping into this with another style idea, I'm doing a half up, half down type of thing. Not really half up. Y'all know I love to do my rubber band crisscross parts. And of course, if you don't feel comfortable with the rubber bands, if you're like me and kind of want to protect your edges, this is what I do. Typically, if I decide to do the rubber band method, I am absolutely not going to have this style in for longer than 5 days. 3 almost sounds a little bit cringe to me, but if you want this style to really last and live a little bit longer, then I highly recommend you maybe braiding the front, maybe even doing some flat twists. Keep in mind, this is just a style option, okay? Just a little bit of inspo. Now, taking a look at the hair, you don't want to over pull these strands. It took me a minute to kind of realize that, like, oh, no matter where I pulled at any given time, that one strand or chunk of strands is 22 inches full and through. So it is on the kinkier side. So just think of it how you think about your natural hair. You don't really want to tug on it. You don't want to pull on it. Literally grab a piece and then deal with whatever needs to kind of come off in the midst of you doing the twist. And I'm kind of going to show you what I mean, because by the end of this, I truly feel that I wasted almost about a half a bundle just simply for like not realizing how to really work with the hair. So not only am I giving you guys an idea, I also kind of want to be the example so that you guys know what to do, what not to do, and so that it's not as like strange when you get to it. Now, a lot of you guys I've been seeing have been super interested in the mini twists, but I am just such a fan of twists that are just more on the juicy side. And y'all know also, I am not the type of person to leave styles in for 2-3 weeks at a time. If we do 2 weeks, I promise you guys, I will use the leftover hair that I have. I ended up using about 3 bundles for this entire style. And I mean, I used a ton of hair, more than I actually needed to, just to keep the twist nice and juicy. They ended up getting a little bit larger from this point as I went up because I really just wanted it to fill in all the gaps and to just look like nice and hydrated, okay? And so, of course, if you guys don't know, I did go ahead and already like section off my hair. I find that pre-parting just makes it, I don't know. Obviously, the time is pretty much still the same, but for me, I like to be able to just flow through the hairstyle. So it's imperative that you start off with the parts. If you are a beginner and you're using me as a way to learn a new technique or a new style, that's fine, but definitely consider parting before you actually get into the style because it's just going to make everything very smooth flow. You know where you're headed, you have a plan, and nothing is really a surprise. You're not going to get to the top and go, oh man, I can only do triangles right here, or like I can only do small boxes. Like No, you should already have an idea of what's going on. And my scalp, surprisingly, if this is your first time watching this, I do have loose scalp, okay? I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it moves very easily. Meanwhile, I have a sniffing dog right beside me. So if y'all hear that, just know she thinks there's some treats up here. There are none, okay? Anyway, you guys can kind of see what I mean when I say loose scalp. Like literally, I can kind of pull and tug on it. So for me, parting my hair, I am pretty much 100% dependent on the rat tail comb with the metal end to really make sure that everything is nice, parted out thoroughly. That's why blow drying your hair with a really, really good heat protectant, which is also moisturizing to help stretch your hair in the safest way possible, is so important. Okay, that was a long sentence, but so important to make sure that you properly stretch your hair, because it's going to help just the style to lay better. It'll also kind of help with the products and just the way that they really work with your texture. So you want to make sure that you have really gotten whatever amount of like kink in that root area. Kind of just get it stretched out. If you want to do a heat-free option and you don't want to blow dry, absolutely do about 8, maybe even less than that. You could probably get away with maybe 6 braids fresh out of the shower, or however it is you wash your hair, fresh from the bowl. Definitely make sure that you just stretch it out. I just find that I don't really experience tangling with my own hair. I'm not having trouble parting. I'm not feeling like, oh my God, this one piece of hair is just in the way. So some of the most important parts of my videos are really in the process. Of course, the style is pretty, but if you really want to get good at perfecting some of the styles that I have provided, you absolutely want to study the process. At this point, I was up to about 3 bundles at this point, and you guys can kind of see what I mean. This is where I really got the hang of it, like, oh girl, okay, if I pull the end, I can still stretch it. So let me add that hair back to the middle. Okay, it literally took me so long to like get to that point. But the hair again is 22 inches, just the same as your natural hair. You can literally have waist length hair. Y'all should know, kinky curly girls, y'all know you can have so much length, but of course the shrinkage is there. That's absolutely what I appreciate about this hair. It was super soft. I really got to the point where I could not feel the difference between my hair and the extensions. That is a beautiful place to be. Obviously, all the details to the hair will actually be linked down in my description box below. Okay, I always feel like a robot saying that because I feel like I say it so much. But I do actually look forward to installing the remaining 2 bundles. And I say that because I want to do mini twists. I feel like as it gets a little bit colder, I'll feel more chill, okay? I have a vacation coming up, so this style was only to get me through like the week, and then of course I'll get into some boho knotless, but for now, y'all, okay, talk about a protective style. At this point, if you totally wanted to continue the braids going all the way to the front of your head, you could. Super easy to do. And of course, you could absolutely spray these down with like some water. If you wanted to get in the shower and kind of just let the steam hit them, they would get even more plump and juicy, okay? Now, because I want to make sure that my edges are not falling out. Now, I know y'all are like, Chrissy, rubber bands, what do we do? You should not be placing these so tight in your head, especially that very first box, because they're all going to connect, and then I'm going to end up doing not really a feed-in braid, but you guys will see, just a typical twist, the same way you would with like kinky twist. You start it off with the braid and then you twist all the way down. I've done that on every single box, and it's so easy to do because I literally use my hair as a third leg for the braid, and because the textures match in not only density but also the way that it looks, it just flows and blends effortlessly, and I'm just super happy about that. So I did find myself kind of tying the rubber bands about 3 or 4 times. I tried my best not to, like, you know how you split it open and then kind of squeeze it to get it super tight to the, not squeeze, but kind of pull it away from each other to get it as close to the scalp. I had to fight the urge to do that because that's where the tension really comes in. And again, we want to protect our hairline. So that's what I'm doing there. I decided I was going to do about 6 boxes and then of course just kind of crisscross each one. So y'all know I kind of did like a little twist on the first one, connected it to the other one, twisted the second one, and connected it to that last little box to get that like crisscross effect. You could totally do this by braiding the front. You could do this by twisting the front, or you could totally skip it and make all of these boxes twist. So many different options. I don't want you guys to feel like boxed in by anything that I'm showing you, but I just, I really love the way that like hair pushed out of my face looks. It really just helps to show off my cheekbones. And also when it comes to my skin, I've noticed having hair out of my face, like obviously your hair can be a little bit oily. I'm not having as much breakouts like in my hairline area or even like around my cheeks and stuff. So I've really been appreciating just having hair out of my face. If you guys have not seen my past couple of videos, I have pretty much all I've been doing just because I really like the way that pullback looks, just plain and short. Now, one thing that I will say, I noticed that this hair absolutely a little bit could have gone a long way. And when I got closer to the top, I think I just kind of was like, oh girl, we're going chunky, okay? I did not need this much hair. I really and truly didn't. I probably could have taken out maybe a little less than a half an inch of like chunk out, and it would have still been just as beautiful. Something that I did learn early on is that using the braid gel, you really want to focus that not obviously on your scalp, but apply it directly to your hair just to make sure that you aren't clogging your pores and like preventing hair growth and just like any type of scalp conditions that could come along from irritation of the products and just a list of things. The product itself that I use to actually braid the hair, or the gel that I use, is from Camille Rose, and that is a conditioning gel. So my hair felt super hydrating and it worked really, really good with Hotbraids bulk hair. So the combo was on point, okay? Could not tell the difference between my hair or the weave. And I also really, really liked that the color was more of a natural black. So you know how our hair can be a little bit more on the brown side. You may get some reddish tones. And so far, so good. So y'all don't even understand. At this point, I was about 2.5 hours in and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to be done. I know y'all are wondering like, Chrissy, how long did this take you? Because if it took you this amount of time, it's going to take me. And I crack up when y'all say that because I'm just like, girl, stop. Okay, as long as you follow the process, you should be able to just flow through your hair. Literally, you may not have the exact number of boxes that I have. You may not even have to use as much hair as I did. Because remember, I'm making up for the density that I don't have. But ultimately, the technique is still the same. Start with that middle part. You're always going to be golden, okay? The middle part is going to be your best friend because it's instantly going to split your head in half so that you can more easily see what it is you're doing, the direction you're going in. And all that I can think to myself is like, where on God's green earth was all of these styles when I was like in college and just like going to work and wearing my hair in a ponytail like a bun? I missed out on so many opportunities to have real protective styles. Like, thank God for YouTube, because now I have the ability to always be trying new things and it's just kind of exciting. Like, I don't know about you, but doing my own hair really gets me hyped. Y'all know it's nostalgic for me and it's just always a constant reminder that like I can literally do anything. A lot of these styles that I do, it's not because I came up with this in my mind and I'm like, oh, this is just going to be so genius. Like I know exactly how I'm going to execute this. No, like it's truly a rough draft and I don't know what it's going to look like until I try it. It just so happens that sometimes when your confidence outshines your willpower, okay, and your desire to get something done, I absolutely think that it just turns out that much more better. I don't even know if that made sense. That much more better. Like it is just, I feel like that sounds so weird to me, okay? That's not grammatically correct. Correct me in the comments, okay? Please help a sister out. Anyway, you guys get to really see here how I just split the hair. Super easy. You guys can see how the legs are even. Okay, so I'm looking at this at the video, but I know that it was twisted to the right. I have my camera facing the mirror, so obviously it's like backward. But now the edges were pretty easy because at this point we barely had anything out. Okay, I don't really want to call these baby hair. Y'all know I'm good and grown. We're just gonna call it broken off hair because I have no clue. I'm saying I have no clue as I put rubber bands in my hair as we speak. Girl, okay, that's the reason why them little strands ain't growing. That's the real reason, okay? Anyway, I am so excited with the way that everything looks. The hair was nice and fluffy. I wish that I would have even dipped the braids in this video. Y'all definitely let me know if you would like to see me remove it, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, literally just like untwist and kind of pull it out, gently, of course. But if you guys want to see it, let me know. I'll create a short for it just so that you guys, have a guide there, especially when it comes to removing the rubber bands. You always want to be safe with that. Remember, when you go to remove those rubber bands, always lift them up away from your hair, get it out the way, and then go in with the scissors to kind of, cut away at it. You could even go in and just like pop them. I mean, it might hurt your fingers, but just whatever you do, do not snatch them directly from your hair and try to drag it out, because that's where you kind of get a lot of breakage and all the extras kind of come from it. And that's also another reason why you do not want to put those rubber bands in super tight. I decided that I wanted to kind of pin it up because y'all know, like I said, I like the hair kind of out of my face. I love to show my ears. They're just like the perfect shape. I'm so obsessed. Anyway, I definitely was feeling like Rasta girl vibes over here. Okay, I always said when I turned 30, I was going to lock my hair. But girl, I'm 30 now and I'm like, for what? When I can constantly have a new style every week, a different texture, a new vibe, like why would I ever give this up? Probably when I have children, I will definitely change my mind about that. But at this moment, girl, it's a solid no for me, okay? If you decided that you needed to put this up for any reason, you absolutely could. But just keep in mind the bulk. I mean, at this point, when you make them this chunky, it's not really going to be the most aesthetically pleasing to put them in a ponytail. I had no plans on putting this in a ponytail at all. But I did want to seal everything in. So I went in with my Cream of Nature mousse. And y'all can see the hair literally soaked this product up. It literally gave it like a nice little shine. And it melted in. The curls even popped out just like my natural hair would. I cannot, like, the technology, okay, of just like where we are in the hair industry, 10 out of 10. I am blessed and grateful to be a part of it. Look at those curls, okay? If this does not give you natural hair, girl, I would have never believed that this was weave if you didn't tell me. Girl, okay? Is it just me? I don't think so. Anyway, y'all know, once I get that little look in my eyes, we went from looking like evil girl, can we be done, to, hey girl, okay, when we going out, where we going, who we going with, okay? Definitely giving those vibes. I am also just so proud of my skin. If y'all have not been keeping up with me on Instagram and TikTok, first of all, what are you doing? I've been posting so many skincare routines there and just like all of the other things that I've been getting into. And I kind of want to make sure that we're on the same page. So definitely make sure that you drop in there so that you can also kind of get my day-to-day updates. And remember when I told you guys I use quite a bit of hair, okay? Like wasted, I should say, because I'm like, use, girl, that low-key could have been a whole nother bundle. But anyway, this is what it finally looks like. Of course, y'all know I had to kind of switch up my little outfit just to give that final reveal, run some errands, and we out. I love y'all so much. Stay pretty. Dakota's here playing with her toy. I'll see y'all in my next one.